What's up, guys? Welcome back from your little break this weekend. It is Tuesday, April 14th. Just real quick before I start, please remember for your scientific notation projects to allow me access to see them. All right, I can't grade a lot of them because I can't view them in Canvas. Okay, so please, if I requested access from you, please grant that to me so I could see your project and grade them. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to move on, and you know how we're skipping all around the book. We're moving on to chapter 2. Okay, we actually only have 2 chapters left. So chapter 2 is transformations, which is basically going to be a lot of coordinate plane work. So what we're going to do today is just kind of warm up before we actually get started with the chapter. And I'm going to go through a couple things from the what you learned before, and then you guys are going to do an IXL activity that reviews coordinate plane work, and then you're going to do a big ideas activity as well. So here's what we need to know, all right, in order to be successful today. So what you learned before is how do we reflect points using the x-axis and using the y-axis. All right, so example one here, they're asking us to reflect this point of 3, -4 in the x-axis. That just means that they want us to use, let's see if I can draw this for you. They want us to use the x-axis as basically a line of symmetry. Okay, so we want to reflect this point of 3, -4. We want to reflect that over top of the x-axis. Okay, so using the x-axis to reflect. So here, there's a really simple basic rule. When we reflect using the x-axis, essentially what happens is our y value changes to its opposite. Okay, the x value stays the same and the y value changes to its opposite. All right, so if we look here, if we're reflecting 3, -4, all we need to do is change -4 to +4. All right, so this is our reflection point right here, 3, +4. Okay, now let's look at something. If we were using instead, let's look at the same point to start. But if we were using the y-axis, sorry about that. If we were using the y-axis as our line of reflection, all right, if we were reflecting over the y-axis, we are now using this as our line of symmetry, okay? So we want to reflect this point, all right? So what happens here, it's kind of the opposite, is the x value changes to its opposite and the y value stays the same, okay? So 1, 2, 3. This would be our new point right here, and that point would be -3, -4. Okay, so just knowing how do we reflect using the x-axis as a line of symmetry and the y-axis. All right, so if you see down here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to be doing that. All right, when you get to your big ideas activity, you're going to be reflecting the point using the x-axis and then using the y-axis. So kind of try and remember those basic rules that I taught you just now, all right, that we went over. So again, if you're using the x-axis to reflect, change your y value to its opposite. If you're using the y-axis to reflect, change your x value to its opposite. Okay, basic rules. And you should be pretty successful with that activity. Otherwise, everything else you're practicing is just basically plotting points in a coordinate plane. Okay, so in order to be successful basically in this entire chapter, you guys have to know how to plot points correctly. All right, so those are the 2 things you're going to work on today. All right, so at this time, it doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but you're going to complete IXL, you're going to complete N.1 in IXL. All right, and I am taking a benchmark grade from that, just like we always do. Okay, and then you guys are going to complete as well in your assignments. You're going to complete this one here, the chapter 2 pre-skills. All right, so again, these are activities that just kind of basically assure that you have the skills that you need for chapter 2. Okay, so that's all we're going to do today. Should be pretty simple. If you have questions, ask in the discussion board or email me, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.